Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you. This is another episode of Encounter. We have today with us Shiv Khera, the author of the best international seller, You Can Win. It has sold 3.5 million copies around the world. Shiv Khera, a very warm welcome and thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you. Indeed, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Shiv Khera, you attach a lot of importance to writing a journal.
Yeah.
Can we say that this is one of the reasons which explains your success?
I would say very significantly, because for the simple reason, a journal is not like a diary that you write every day. A journal, in fact, you find the life histories of most successful people, they write a journal. And journal is something that you write at the end of the day, not in the morning. The reason is, the day is over, you review your day. And journal helps you reflect. Reflection is a process of learning. When we reflect, what do? We review two things. We review our actions and we review our intentions.
It comes out at the end of the day.
That's right. And a journal is really also an idea book. It's an idea book. See, ideas are funny. If you don't capture them, they evaporate. They run away. That is why you find most successful people, when a good idea comes, they just pen it down. They pen it down right straight.
We have so much going on in our lives that we have to download our thinking.
Right. We must download our thinking. Those are great words, what you just said. We must download our thinking, Roshan. I think that's a fantastic expression that you just used.
I mean, we have so many things going on, work, life, personal, so there's a limit that our brains can take in unless we are very well trained, but that also has a limit. But would you recommend everyone to write 5-10 minutes every?
Absolutely. Habitually, if we write a journal, see, we have created a journal. It's really, we call it a success system, and it's more like a fill in the blank. And then there are some of our corporate clients, when we do these programs, they make it mandatory for everybody into their organization to start using the journal.
Do they see a difference?
Yeah, Tetra Pak, is a client of ours, and pretty much the chairperson, everybody, they took in 500 journals, everybody writes the journals. Suzlon is a client, they did the same thing. So you see, what happens is, our journal is literally like a fill in the blank, a success book. You write in how you feel today, put your true feelings. Then you write down, today I have learned, what have I learned today? Have I learned anything? If yes, what? If not, why not? And today I'm proud of, what am I proud of? Am I proud of anything? If yes, what? If not, why not? And finally, today I commit to improve. Today I commit to improve. You know something, every day we keep writing this, today I commit to improve. A little bit every day. It's a lot easier to change 1% in 100 different areas than to change 100% in any one area. I repeat, this is very important. It's a lot easier to change 1% in 100 different areas than to change 100% in any one area. Just keep changing 1% every day. Man, watch where you go.
So the fact of writing it is probably the first step of putting it down. But also writing in a journal, it's being true to yourself.
Absolutely. Writing a journal every day helps you reflect, and unless we reflect, how are we going to check out ourselves?
I always say, but I might be wrong. Is it a way to people to, when they write, it's also a way of accepting who they are, being more comfortable, and also it helps them to move forward?
Absolutely.
Is that the psyche behind?
Oh, absolutely. When you pen things down, it brings clarity. Have you noticed one thing? There are some people, when they're running into a problem, they write down the problem. See, the moment you write down a problem, what happens? Two things happen. One, you crystallize your problem. Two, now you know what your true problem is, rather than what we think we know what the problem is. There could be totally different thing. Two things.
It's the face value.
Not only that, I'll share with you, I was reading somewhere that Edison, in his lab, he had a bed at the back. And next to the bed, there was a table and a paper and a pen. See, whenever he was struggling with a problem, he had input so much, he was not getting the output, he was not getting the answer. He used to go back to sleep. And all of a sudden, while he's sleeping, the idea used to come and the answer used to come. He used to get up and write down the answer. What was it? You see, you notice somebody said all great discoveries and inventions were accidents. But how come those accidents only happen to people like the Edison and the Einsteins? Why don't they happen to taxi drivers and people cutting hair for everybody? They happen to prepared minds. Now, Edison input so much, he was not getting the output, the input. So he went to sleep. And all of a sudden the answer came, he wrote down the answer. Now, this mind works like a computer. Had he not input, how would he get the output? So what happened, conscious mind took over so much information, subconscious mind was not able to process it. He went to sleep, subconscious took over, conscious mind closed, he processed it, bang, got the answer. This is how it works. Our subconscious mind plays a very important role. And this is really the whole system, that we need to influence our subconscious mind somehow or the other.
Would you venture to say that it's spiritual?
No. This is, just look at the computer. The hardware and the software. The body is the hardware and the mind is the software. And that's really what the whole thing is all about. Now look, let me share with you. Many people talk of spirituality. You know something? You ask them, they can't even define the word spirituality themselves. Ask them what is spirituality. They won't be able to define it. They talk loosely a lot of stuff. You know, in my opinion, my new book I've just put in, a person who does the job with integrity, they're practicing spirituality.
Definitely.
That's it. That's it. A person who keeps their commitment and they are honest to their family, they're practicing spirituality. A person who is responsible in the organization and in society and they behave like a responsible person, they are practicing spirituality. Good enough, man. You define any way you want to.
Shiv Khera, you've written a lot. I'm sure you have a journal, and you've written many books. You Can Win. I want to speak about You Can Win, your older book. Where does all this inspiration come from?
Well,
how did it all start? Why I'm asking the question, because I'm aware that you used to clean cars and you were an insurance agent.
Yes,
so
sir.
How did you shift to become an inspirational writer and a motivational speaker, and you encourage people to be better leaders? How did the declic happen?
Well, Roshan, that goes back when I was washing cars. The most important thing was, while I was washing cars, my eyes were elsewhere. That was a stepping stone. One important thing. Then I got into selling vacuum cleaners in Canada and the US.
Vacuum cleaners you sold?
Yeah. And then I got into life insurance totally by accident. And I think that was the best accident that ever happened to me in life. And right while I was selling the life insurance, I saw Dr. Norman Vincent Peale was coming into Toronto. I went in, there were 1,000 people, I was one of them. And that day, what he said made me some realization that problem is a sign of life. And I was going through problems in life, one after the other. And he said, many times we are our own biggest problem. And that changed my head thinking, well, am I my own biggest problem? My thinking is my challenge. My attitude is my biggest challenge. Which one is it? I get up in the morning, you see, you have to decide what kind of day are you going to have. Is the weather outside going to decide your mind today, or is the weather inside your mind going to decide what kind of day you're going to have? See, there are people who wake up in the morning and say, oh man, today look at the weather, it's going to be a bad day. Oh, if that weather is going to decide your day, you are not. Something is wrong with you. No, you got to decide inside what kind of day am I going to have. Nothing outside will decide. And nothing changed outside. When I realized that I was my own biggest problem, my life changed. Nothing changed outside. My thinking changed, direction changed. My personally, professionally, socially, everywhere, I started going up. It's not easy. And one needs to learn a lot as you go along, the skills along with it. And you need to practice them. Knowing and practicing is two different things. And when I saw my life change, I said, I became an avid student. Till then, I never read a book. All my life in school, I read comics. I used to jump my class, run away. I failed in my 10th grade. So bottom line is that that's the time I started becoming an avid reader. I got into research and I met people much wiser than me, one after the other. Things started opening up and I started moving in different direction. When my life changed, personally, professionally, and socially, I said, somebody gave it to me, it's time for me to pass on. I started volunteering my time in the US with maximum security prisons and the jails in the US. I used to go into the jails and start teaching them attitude, self-esteem programs. I saw life change, and from there I took it to the corporate world, and gradually one thing led to the other.
So you already knew what you wanted to become?
Yes, I did. I certainly did. And almost 35, 40 years ago, I started writing my goals.
You had vision with values also.
Right. And one of the goals was, I will write an international bestseller. And that's what it was.
So that's how it all started when you started writing You Can Win. Let's now talk about your other book, You Can Sell.
Yeah.
So how's it different?
And I have another one coming up.
And you have another one coming up. And
6 months down the line, yeah.
Which is?
The title is Achieve More.
Achieve More.
Yeah. And then the subtitle to that is Live by Design, Not by Default.
Wow.
And you see in there, it talks of values, which says valuations change, values don't.
So you clearly attach a lot of importance to values.
Yeah.
And has you maintaining a high standard of values been a big part of who you are today? Is it?
Well, of course. I mean, in life, remember, your credibility determines your profitability.
Also,
now, wait,
it's a matter of trust?
No. Wait, listen. And profitability is not only money, but goodwill.
There we go.
And that is the crucial part. And you see, most important thing is you practice values not to gain a reputation or show the world what you are. But at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror also. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, are you worthwhile? And you notice one thing. Anytime we do something positive in life, even if no one is watching, we rise a little bit in our own eyes.
Surely.
And whenever we do something wrong in life, like lying, stealing, cheating, even if no one is watching, we fall down a little bit in our own eyes. And you find always the first one is difficult. After that, it becomes easier.
So tell us a few lines about your upcoming books.
Well, there are quite a few things in there. Some I would like to hold back till it comes out.
Surely.
And but I have shared with you, the subtitle is Live by Design and Not by Default. And there are certain things that I mentioned in my book there. There's something called prosperity consciousness and poverty consciousness. You see, and how can a person rise up in life physically, financially, emotionally, everywhere, including financially? And people who say that, oh, money is not important, they are nuts. Either they are totally lunatic in my opinion, or they've got billions of dollars. I mean, that's the only one who says like this. But in my opinion, of course money is important. And I personally feel that anybody and everybody who's an ethical person has every right and obligation to make money, and lots of money, because money in good hands will do good to the world. Money in bad hands will do bad to the world. Are you with me?
Definitely.
And there's something called prosperity consciousness and poverty consciousness. See, there is something to do with thinking and state of mind. There was a study done in the US on lottery millionaires, and it was found that in less than 24 months, 90% of those lottery millionaires were broke back again. You know, something mentally they could not accept it. And somebody said very well, if you took the entire wealth of the world and divided equally amongst all the people in this world, equally, within less than 24 months, it'll come back to the same pocket the way it is today. It will come back to the same pockets the way it is today. Because you know something, there is something here. And that's really what you need to do.
How would you explain why it comes back to the same pocket?
No. I'll share with you. I'll share with you a practical example. It happened. When Idi Amin in Uganda took over, literally with the killings that he did and all the destruction that he did, and almost 50,000 people of the Indian origin were kicked out at that time. And I think it was President Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau in Canada, he gave them asylum at that time.
Senior.
Yeah, senior. And I recall that everybody came broke. I mean, they couldn't bring anything with them. So literally, they came with just clothes, what they were wearing, and then just left the country. That's it. But interestingly, what I found out was that people who were doing well in Uganda, they started doing well again here. And people who are doing nothing and cribbing all the time there and complaining, they were complaining and doing nothing here also.
It's a matter of attitude?
No, those people who did something there all started at par. And those people who were doing well started doing well back again here. And those who were cribbing and complaining there, they were complaining here too. And look at this. Isn't it amazing? This is real life. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Wow. We have read your books. A lot of people have read your books. But I want to go a step further. They say that if you try to know the people who are successful, maybe you try to think like them and adopt their ways of living, you might also end up being successful. Do you have a routine every day?
Let me share something. Success leaves clues, and so does failure. See, both success and failure are very predictable today. As predictable as the sun comes out in the east and sets in the west, it is so predictable. How is it predictable? Check out life histories of people who have succeeded. If you read autobiographies or biographies of successful people, you will find there are some behavior patterns that are common in all of them. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Lincoln, there are some things common in all of them. If you accept, adopt, adapt those behaviors in life, those commonalities, you will be successful. And similarly, if you read life histories of failures, you will find there are certain common behaviors in all of them. They repeated the same mistakes, all of them. And if you avoid those mistakes, you will not be a failure. See, in life, there are some do's and there are some don'ts. Unlike people who say, nothing, there are no do's and don'ts, do what you feel like. I don't agree with those people. You see, following certain discipline every day consistently gives you success. And repeating certain errors and mistakes every day brings failure. That's all. Take it one more time. I'll repeat it. See, following certain disciplines gives you success. And repeating certain errors and mistakes every day brings failure. Look at this. Nobody ever in life ever becomes an overnight success. Go check out any big law firm, any doctor, any big company. They have gone through from garage to up there someplace. Nothing happened overnight. Nothing happened overnight. But they did it over 20, 30 year period. Whatever happened. Similarly, you see, there are do's and don'ts here. Very clearly, do consistently. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now, it doesn't say a candy bar a day keeps the doctor away. Exercising 30 minutes a day keeps the doctor away. It doesn't say watching television every day 30 minutes keeps the doctor away. It doesn't keep that. So there are some do's. Now, there are consistently, you got to do an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now, we all know it. We all know it. Now, we could do it, we should do it, but we don't do it or we won't do it. Now, apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now, if we don't eat an apple a day for 30 days, can we eat 30 apples a day? No, we can't do it. Consistently is important. The key in life to success is consistency. Repeating certain positive behavior every day leads to success. See, a person in martial art does not become black belt overnight. He can do overnight 24 hours. He will not. He needs to practice 45 minutes every day, and then after 5 years he gets a black belt. Consistency brings that. And similarly, repeating certain mistakes consistently, errors every day, leads to failure. And you see, when people say, oh, today a little ice cream won't make any difference, today a little cake will not make any difference. You know something? Everything in life makes a difference. Everything has a cumulative effect. Tell me, 10 years of abuse to my health, can I repair it in 10 days after that?
Impossible.
Hey, not never.
Never.
Now, do we need a PhD to understand this?
No.
Do we need to an MBA to understand this? See, 10 years of my abuse to my health, do you think I can repair it in 10 days later? Forget it, man.
It's all about consistency.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Roshan, doesn't that make sense?
It
It is total common sense. And you know something? You hear religious preachers talking of life after death, life after death. We are talking of life before death, man. Live at least.
Definitely, definitely. Shiv Khera, I'm about to conclude this interview. I'll take 30 seconds more. I call it the quick fire round. Just ask you a question and you tell me whatever comes first to your mind. Are you a morning or evening person?
I'm an evening person.
Tea, coffee?
Tea, I would say.
Bollywood, Hollywood?
I would say more Bollywood than Hollywood.
What kind of music do you like?
I love the Indian music, which is the ghazals and all.
Any favorite?
Jagjit Chitra. Yeah, absolutely.
Any favorite movies?
Yes, I like that Bhag Milka, that one here. And I like the movie Bridge on the River Kwai. In fact, some of the older actors, John Wayne was my greatest actor, one of those guys I really admired. And Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson. I mean, that's the kind of people I like.
Which book are you reading at the moment?
You Can Win. Well, I'm proofreading my new book, which is the Achieve More.
Fantastic.
I'm proofreading right now.
Shiv Khera, thank you very much for your time. It's been an honor having you.
Thank you, sir.
And enjoy your stay in Mauritius.
Oh, thank
Please
you,
visit us very soon again.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
grateful to you, sir. Thank you.
This has been another episode of Encounter. It has been a pleasure having you at home with us today. Thank you very much. Please catch us again for another episode of Encounter.